Power, power. It's the what? Power, hour. It's the who? Power, hour. Yeah. Blacks, Hispanics, and natives. Power, hour. It's the what? Power, hour. It's the who? Power, hour. Yeah. Blacks, Hispanics, and
it says decadence. So the word decadence, which at first meant simply decline in an abstract sense, is now most often used to refer to a perceived decay in standards, morals, dignity, religious faith, honor, discipline, or skill at governing a large social structure, such as an empire or nation state. So when you see decadence, I think the word, some of our people get confused and they think the word means, because you'll eat something and they'll be like, oh, this is decadent.
They think it's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, they think, oh, this chocolate was decadent.
I don't know. I never said that.
I don't speak that way.
We didn't work in Manhattan.
Damn, well, there was a fancy grocery store in Manhattan, bro. I can't remember the name of it.
See?
I'm trying to remember the name of it. Right, brother. Yes. The clay is dealing with the other nations trying to cling to it, but there's levels to this whole thing, right?
Right, it's deep.
So it's not just one thing. Remember, the scriptures have multiple meanings, so there's layers to the whole thing, right? So that's when you're dealing with it from an empire perspective. So it says a perceived decay. Notice they always try to put something in there, perceived decay. So it says it's a decay in standards. Right, you'll see that now. Mm-hmm. You'll see that with the blatant sexualism that's out there. Yep. Things that you wouldn't say 10 years ago, you say and show now so openly. Right,
just like Rome.
A perceived decay in standards, morals, dignity. Hey, I was reading the other day, and she's our people, but she's simple as freaking hell. Cardi B was talking about she don't let her kids listen to WAP.
Yeah, I know. She's simple as hell. I can't believe it. I read that thing too.
I know. My wife was saying something about the song the other day, and I said I heard like the first verse, and I turned that shit off because I said this thing's gonna put spirits on me.
And I knew when they put initials that it couldn't be good.
No, I haven't heard the whole song to this day because I
haven't heard the whole song.
I know
it's
Captain
raw.
Zakar did.
It's raunchy.
I love you, Zakar. I love you.
She said when her kids come in the car, she turns it off.
Yeah, like she runs to turn it off. Freaking WAP. Right? I mean, just everything that's around you. The Sodom agenda, right? It says this place would be a Sodom and Gomorrah.
Hey, there was Trump supporters with the rainbow flag.
Yes. Hey, how many people are transgender and gay? Even Republicans now. They're supposed to be conservative Republicans. And there's Republican transgender that recently got elected to positions.
That's decadence.
All that stuff. Decadence. Dignity, religious faith. Religion is going out the door. Trump's probably one of the first presidents that very loosely acknowledge any type of belief in God, but he's full of crap, right? No honor, no discipline, or skill at governing among the members of the elite.
They proved that.
For sure. By extension, it may refer to a decline in art, literature, science, technology, and work ethics, or very loosely to self-indulgent behavior. That's when the scripture says lovers of themselves, right? Forbidding to marry, right? So it says usage of the term sometimes implies moral censure or an acceptance of the idea met with throughout the world since ancient times. What'd you do? That such declines are objectively observable and that they inevitably precede the destruction of the society in question.
Boom.
Look at them. Their butt sticking out.
Yep.
And in the Senate.
Romans during the
decadence.
Capitol. It's called Romans during the... Scroll up, an orgy. So it's talking about sexual immorality too, which is what you see now. I was watching something the other day that they said now... So apparently, during the pandemic, they got this thing with, buff gay men that go to, these parties and, So they're trying to put them on blast because they're going to these pandemic parties and they're all dancing up on each other. And we know how these homosexual spirits are. They're very lewd. They go to these places to have casual sex, gay sex,
and them buff
which
dudes,
is an abomination.
They got to carry each other.
Freaking
nasty.
You were going to bring something out?
Yeah, I was going to bring out 2nd Ezra 6 and 9.
Okay, hold on. Before you read, let me read this one more time, and I'll let you bring this out. So notice what it just said here when you deal with decadence, all right? It says such declines are objectively observable. Objective means it's factual. It's not subjective. It's not subject to opinion. right? That you can objectively see that it's a decline of an empire. It says, and that they inevitably precede the destruction of the society in question. So it means when you start to see this, it's inevitable that this place is going down. That's what it's talking about. Go ahead, bring out what you're bringing out.
2 Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
I saw that today, and I said, man, we got next.
We got next.
I said, we got next. What you're seeing is the decline. You're seeing that miry clay strip away from the iron, and you're seeing the decline of this society. It says, for this reason, modern historians use it with caution. They don't like to say it because when you start to see that, it's inevitable that the society is going to decline. And then it shows you on the side here, Rome as an example of its decadence. Except Rome didn't go away. Its principles were moved on, and it moved
The
forward.
scripture talks about that in Revelation.
Yes.
This is the last age of decadence.
This is the last age of decadence.
This is the horn. America's the
see if
horn
I
that
wanna
came from Rome.
Yep.
Let me see if I want to finish this. It says the word originated in medieval Latin, appeared in the 16th century French, and entered English soon afterwards. It bore the neutral meaning of decay, decrease, or decline until the late 19th century, when the influence of new theories of social degeneration contributed to its modern meaning. So just highlight social like if you click on it, a little brief will come up. Okay. Social degeneration was a widely influential concept at the interface of the social and biological sciences in the 18th, 19th centuries. During the 18th century, thinkers, so it's basically saying that's letting you know that when you start to see a society degenerate, so you're seeing the falling away of that stuff. I don't think I need any more on that.
Because people see all this acceptance of homosexuality and transgenderism and all these different things as the society getting better, but people would see it with spiritual wise, see it, no, it's the exact opposite.
That's an excellent point, and I'm glad that you point that out. This is why we're speaking about this. This is why we're going over this on the show, is because this is them calling evil good.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right. It's not that strict anymore. Right. I could walk around and be who I want to be. Right. That's the way they think about it. But in naturality, we look at it spiritually. We're like, no, you're decay because it's contrary to the Bible.
Listen, man, when you're living in times where you're born as a male and you're born as a female, and they're telling you get to choose that.
That's decadence.
That's decadence. That's decadence. We're living in a dystopian society.
It's wicked as hell and it's decadence.
It says dystopia, a very bad or unfair society in which there is a lot of suffering, especially an imaginary society in the future. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
The future has arrived. The future has arrived, brothers and sisters.
We's here.
It says, after something terrible has happened, a description of such a society. And then it gives you, so for example, you'll see this in movies a lot. The film is set in 2700 on an uninhabitable Earth, a dystopia covered in towers of garbage. Go to the dictionary one. It says a society characterized by human misery as squalor, oppression, disease, and overcrowding. And overcrowding. Now, listen, we know their whole thing. Bishop brought it out lovely about the population, and they're saying that, it can't support the population. Listen, the Most High is going to act if there were any population limits before something happens on the earth. All right?
They're not the ones that are going to control.
Right, they're not going to control that thing. So click on squalor. Right, and click on it. It's going to take us to another one. The condition of being squalid, filth, and misery. Click on squalid now. I hate when they do that, but so it says foul and repulsive, as from lack of care or cleanliness, neglected and filthy, wretched, miserable, degraded, sordid. That's what you're seeing.
Yep.
That's what you're seeing. That's a dystopia. Now, put utopia, all right, and then we'll read the dystopia one in Wiki. Just so you can see the difference, right? Because you might hear these terms in literature and movies. The opposite of dystopia is utopia. And it's an imagined community, because they tell you it's imagined because they say it can't exist. There is no, they acknowledge the miry clay. There's no perfect, what's perfect is the kingdom. When we read Daniel 2:44, that's utopia. And they try to, utopia is the kingdom of heaven. but they're trying to tell you that it's an imagined thing. And it says a utopia is an imagined community or society that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect qualities for its citizen. Is it Deuteronomy 6:4 where it says, "This is your wisdom in the sight of the nations"? Can you get that for me? Am I off? Utopia, because I said utopia is the kingdom of heaven. It says this is a highly desired, this is a community or society, that's us, the Israelites, that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect qualities for its citizen. These commandments, the law of the Lord is perfect. It's this Bible that is that utopia. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Keep therefore and do them, these commandments, because it says this is our wisdom and our knowledge in the sight of the nations. So a utopia is what we're going to have when the kingdom of heaven is established. Mm-hmm. That's what utopia is. What you have right now is dystopian societies, and not just what you're seeing in the United States, because it was never good. He talks about make America great again. It was never good. None of these places were ever good. But in their minds, even now you see this. When you see this division, Satan, remember we just read, Christ said Satan stands against Satan, a house divided will lead to the desolation of that house. Mm-hmm. So what you're seeing is the beginning of that stuff. Now let's click on Wiki Dystopia. Let's get a little more understanding so you can see that that's what we're living in. A dystopia, it's from ancient Greek. It means bad or hard, a bad or hard place. It says alternatively cacotopia, or simply anti-utopia, is a community or society that is undesirable or frightening. You saw people today, I can't believe this is happening in America. It's an undesirable or frightening. It is an antonym of utopia. It's just the opposite. So, you got people out there that think that Christ is going to come and the Senate is still going to be there and the House and the President and that everybody's still going to be able to govern this way and stuff like that.
And that they're going to live in their life wicked as hell.
Right.
And they're going to get the kingdom.
We just proved that utopia is the kingdom of heaven. It's that rulership. So by its very nature, it cannot exist, and it's the exact opposite of a dystopian society. It can't exist with a dystopian society. That's why it has to be purged by fire. Mm-hmm. It says, this is an antonym of utopia, a term that was coined by Sir Thomas More and figures as the title of his best-known work, published in 1516, which created a blueprint for an ideal society with minimal crime, violence, and poverty. He's talking about the kingdom of heaven, man.
Yep.
When it says we'll be ruled with a rod of iron, it's talking about the kingdom.
Okay. This is a documentary on Amazon Prime called Generational Wealth, and what you just said about Age of Decadence, this is a summary in this documentary on Amazon Prime. It's very good.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Does it
Yes.
add, okay, so
Is it worth it?
All right.
Let me work it.
All right,
They're
producer.
scared, they're scared for them, yep.
Roll the footage then. Roll the footage.
Hours a week and never see my family. I work 100 hours a week and never see my family and die at an early age. That's my prerogative.
I would have money as big as this room in case it.
Stop. That's decadence. Little children shouldn't be dressed like that.
Hell no.
The hell is this?
You come out the
Foul
room
ass
with
heathen with this stuff.
Right when you said stop it and commented, he was like, yes. Right?
Goodness.
He was validated.
He said yes. He was validated now, right? Go ahead. Play it.
It's kind of like the end of Rome. Societies
Hey,
accrue
stop.
their
You heard him?
greatest wealth.
He said it's kind of like the end of Rome. You're going to have to run it back a few seconds because I want to finish what he's saying.
You did good, Spider.
You did good. You did good. You did good, producer. You did good over there, Shire. All right. You won't get the left and the right later. Okay. He said it's kind of like Rome. We were just reading when you read this Decadence. It showed examples of Rome and its decline. Go ahead, read. Go ahead, play.
Societies,
Said it.
it's kind of like the end of Rome. Societies accrue their greatest wealth at the moment that they face death.
He said, and it's interesting because when we read the article, we're going to read a little bit more about dystopia on this thing, and then we're going to read the article. That's exactly what the article is going into. And it says you get to a point where, like, what else can you accomplish? Like the accomplishments of science and medicine and everything, they don't even seem that great anymore.
Right.
And he said it's kind of like Rome, right, in its decline. And a society, when it's achieved and amassed its greatest wealth, right? Or when you read in other things, it says its greatest accomplishments, there's nothing left after that. And then it's set up to dissolve.
Lego. Israel is back. We back. Israel is back. We got the nations running scared because Israel is back. All lies on us because we keeping them laws. When the Lord return, Babylon will fall. Precept solid. We got them on lock. God's chosen people with Christ as our rock. Israel is back. We back. Israel is back. We back. You heathen, get ready for our whip to crack. Damn.